Alright, so
yeah, we'll just go through the checklist. We'll start with that.
alright.
Generally speaking,
Did all this.
ideally, we should have hit all that. The last thing I always do is take 15 steps away and look at the airplane straight on. I already did that.
Yeah, I kind of did it on the way out.
And before start, pre-flight, complete, passenger briefing,
seatbelts.
seatbelts, air, show them where the air vents are, fire extinguisher, we don't have one, how to exit, push the door handle up, out, go to the back of the plane, they'll call for help while you assess the situation, and then talking during takeoffs, landing, critical phases of flight, keep it to a minimum, and then any questions that they have, make sure they ask them now before later.
Alright, so fuel selector both, avionics off. Right, wait, where's
Avionics will be...
Oh, this guy.
Yeah, that one right there.
Avionics off, brakes hold.
And then use this as a memory aid to pull your handbrake. It's already pushed in, but just in case it's not, just make sure that you always make sure you have it. That's off right now.
So you take it off, or you want to put it on at this point?
I want to leave it off.
Okay.
Because that last thing I want people to do is get in it and then start.
And these two are just different, right?
Yep.
They're actually in. Good. That's it. Circuit breaker's all in.
And then mixture rich.
Mixture rich. Carb heat cold. Beacon on. Put that here.
That'll be the bottom guy right there.
Got it. Master on. Prime as required, which I feel like was 3 pumps last time. Is that right?
Yeah, as it gets warmer out, there'll be less. Okay. So you can try like maybe 1.5.
Okay. Throttle open 1/8 of an inch. Propeller clear. Oh, wait. Wait, keep it.
Yep, that was clear. Clear! I know it's stupid, but...
Well, yeah. Which one is the key?
The green guy.
Green guy.
And then starting, just keep left hand on starter, right hand on throttle. As soon as it starts up, you'll go right to 1,000 RPM.
Okay. Yeah, it's all clear prop. Alright, ready?
Hear me?
I got you loud.
Alright, sorry about that.
Alright, good.
Alright, so...
And you're recording everything too?
Sweet. Yep. Alright, so... on... Mixture lean.
Yeah, so you just pull back about an inch. So, if you're unfamiliar with the aircraft, jumping in and out of new airplanes, what you could do is just, so if we're idling right at about 1,000 RPM perfectly, just so that way you have some judgment here. And as I pull the mixture back, I'm going to watch for a drop in RPM. There's a drop, and I'll go a couple swipes rich of that, and that'll keep it.
Okay.
And of course, it's going to change on season, so, you'll just have to adjust that every season, I guess.
Right, okay.
It gets warmer and colder.
Alright, flaps up. Confirm flaps up on both sides. Transponder is squawking altitude mode. Alright.
And then brakes and turn instrument check. So I'll demonstrate a brake check real quick. So we're just clear left, clear right. I'm just going to give it some juice, and then so you can let go of the brakes actually.
I'm not touching them.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm just trying to feel your...
So, just gas give it a little bit of throttle and then check your brakes with the power to idle and then throttle it back up to 1,000. So your controls.
My controls.
We're down with runway 1.
And they're looking good. And then we'll taxi down to. We'll taxi to the windsock down there, but you can take this way instead of going through that.
All right.
The turning instrument check.
Oops, sorry.
Turning instrument check, I would say, is very necessary when flying IFR, because if you think about taking off, your instruments look good on the ground, and then as soon as you start taking off, your attitude indicator starts like wobbling or doing something crazy on you.
Right.
It'd be pretty important to check that. So turn coordinator is banking into the turn, balls going outside, heading and compass are moving freely. Attitude indicator didn't bank more than 5 degrees through the turn, and the airspeed, altimeter, and vertical speed should all stay zeroed out while turning.
Okay.
So the windsock's pointing towards 9, so we'll take the second left turn, and we'll turn into the wind.
Roger.
And that's just to get the cooling air as well as intake air while doing your engine run-up.
Do you have to call anything here?
No, I mean, not technically. Non-towered, all golf airspace, do whatever you want. But, generally speaking, if you need to talk to somebody, I would. The tail, I would just try and pull up a little bit more so the tail doesn't block the taxiway behind us. So you just get,
pull up the airplane a little bit more. Got it.
I think Joe is going to be taxiing out here soon.
Okay.
And I know Anthony's going to be taking his plane out in a minute, but...
All right. Before takeoff on it, brakes hold.
Yep.
Doors, windows locked and closed.
Yeah. Usually my passengers, new people, will just leave the door handle up, so make sure they put it down. Flight controls check, so you'll go left aileron, so your thumbs point to the aileron that's up.
Yep.
Right aileron's down. Elevator, you pull this back.
Yep.
Elevator's up. Rudder kick left and right, so you verify that's looking good. And then to the right aileron up, left aileron down. And then the yoke forward, elevator goes down. And then I just do it one more time to verify that there's no inside obstructions limiting you, like people's bags, camera equipment, whatever, knee boards, making sure that the cables aren't frayed, and there's like no resistance or anything like that.
All right, looks good. Whoops.
And then the flight instrument check will be next. I'll go to Philly's METAR. So we have airspeed zeroed out. This is blue over brown. You can reset this so your wings are, right on the horizon there.
Okay, cool. I didn't realize you could do that.
Altimeter. So we're 162 feet. So if you want to turn that to 162.
Okay.
The other thing we could do is look at Philly. Philly's reporting 3043 on altimeter setting. So
it's a little off.
Yeah, because we're going to fly underneath Philly's airspace. Usually I'll just turn it to 3043. If we're in the pattern, maybe I'll put it to field elevation.
Over traffic at a white
So it's not really reported at our airport. Vertical speed 0. Heading to compass check within 10 degrees. Compass is free of cracks, leaks, and bubbles. Deviation card is here in case we need it. So for heading of north, steer 005. That's just because it's 5 degrees off, accounting for the avionics.
Right.
Just because anything like that would mess up the compass. And then wings are level, balls centered.
Okay.
And that's it for your flight instrument.
All right. Flight instruments. Fuel selector is on both. Mixture is going rich. Yep. Throttle to 1700.
Just verify you're not about to do something stupid.
I'm looking for rear view mirrors. Next joke, I just looked for side view mirrors. Alright, 1700.
You're not moving forward or anything like that. That's always critical when you're on your own.
Magnetos check for a no more than 125.
Yeah, usually I'll check the right mag, the right one first.
Alright, let me start that over.
Alright, so 2 clicks left, and make sure you got no more than 125. Back to both.
Good there.
And left, no more than, so I've recovered, and then left one, no more than a 125, no more than 50 RPM difference between both of the drops.
Yeah.
The reason why I go to the right first and then the left last is because now when you go left to both, you only got one click over, so you don't accidentally take the airplane up on just the left mag.
Yeah, I got
You're
you.
to do it the other way.
Alright, so got that. Engine instruments check. Temperatures.
Those are good.
Pressure looks a
That'll be because you have cold oil.
okay. Ammeter is, where's that? Oh, there we go, we're at 0.
So it should be just slightly above
Yeah,
0.
it is.
And that's a good sign, because you only want a slightly positive charge.
Suction check. Carburetor heat on. And that's what, 50 RPM
Yeah,
drop?
somewhere around there.
Okay.
I would say no more than like 75.
Alright, idle.
And then what I do is pull the carb heat out while you do the idle check, so now you'll smoothly pull the power all the way to idle. This
all the way back?
Yeah,
Okay.
so this is to show that with hot induction air into the engine, you're coming in for landing because you use carb heat when landing.
Right.
That power idle, the engine doesn't stall out.
Okay.
So this looks good, and then you go carb heat in and then throttle to 1,000. The 1,000 RPM is just so that way the prop's spinning fast enough, or the crankshaft really, connected to the belt, to the alternator spinning fast enough to charge the battery.
Okay.
That's all it's for.
So, radios, I guess they're set. Unicom here, or whatever.
Yeah, so we got 122.8 COM 1, 122.8 COM 2. On the audio panel switch here, so we have, these are marker beacons, you don't need those.
Okay.
Transmitting on 2.
Got it.
And then these, always just leave them on these 2 down. And then these are all your nav stuff, so we don't need any of these.
Okay.
Where volume is COM 1 there. COM 2 volume, we're just transmitting on COM 2. It's not like we need to listen to it. So I have it turned all the way down. And that's really it. GPS, this thing always shuts off at flight. I'm just going to leave it off. We don't even need it. We're just going to look outside and go visual.
Alright. So, that's it. Radios are set. Mixture lean for taxi. About an inch back, you said?
Yeah.
Alright. And departure review. So, I guess we're taking...
So, usually this is where you talk with your, first officer captain, or in this case, whoever you're flying with. So in the event of an engine failure or abnormality before rotation speed, so before 55 knots, you're going to abort the takeoff because 55 is our rotation. So you'll abort it, power idle, brakes as required, stop straight ahead. If there's not enough runway for a complete stop, you're going to cut off the mixture, fuel selector off, magnetos off, and battery master off. Land at the lowest possible airspeeds. Just stop straight ahead.
Okay.
If you're on takeoff, you have already cleared all your obstacles. You got to continue straight ahead. Maybe no more than, you're like 700 feet or something like that.
Right.
We have to pretty much go straight out.
Yeah.
It'd be difficult to make that 270-degree turn back because you got to turn all the way out there and come back. You're going to look for the best place to land straight ahead, which there's really not anything almost out there.
Okay.
You have maybe a road, a little dangerous, and then we have cinder bar over here.
Yeah, right.
We have like a field. Again, mixture cut off, fuel selector off, magnetos off. Use the flaps first, and then turn the battery master off, just because of you need the electrical.
Okay, so when you glide, you want to throw the flaps in?
Yeah, well, 65 knots. Best, once you get your glide, you're good. You know you're going to make it. Now use your flaps, and then turn your electrical system off. So you're cutting off fuel, and you're cutting off spark.
Yep, got it. Okay.
That's really, and you can also unlatch your door, too, like that.
Yeah, like before you land.
Yeah.
Got it.
Crash land.
Yep. Alright. Lineup for departure, we're not doing that yet, right?
Yeah, so we'll wait for that.
So now we're going to taxi to...
9.
9, okay.
Yep. So cleared right, cleared behind us. And if there was somebody else out here, we could make a radio call if it was needed. It'd just be like, taxiing from, these are called T-hangers, taxiing from the blue T-hangers or taxiing from the windsock.
Okay. Wait, so 9 is down there, right? No.
Yeah,
okay,
you're good.
Sorry.
Taxi.
Oh, there's someone landing there. Oh, skydivers. Gotta get over there. Oh god. Shit. What's the matter?
Big bird feather back there. I can only imagine where that came from. And cross keys radio check.
Uncare cross keys.
Thank you.
Cross keys traffic, caravan clear of runway 9. Cross keys.
And just to brief you, once you start flying with passengers and stuff, and you have, some cross-country flight plan because you're going somewhere you don't know of, just try and cancel all heads-down activities while taxiing. Always just look outside.
Right.
If you have passengers, make sure they're not talking about non-essential stuff.
Right.
That they're looking outside for things like that turkey vulture, or that whatever that turkey's doing.
It's racing us.
Yeah, you'll definitely see a good amount of birds and turkeys and deer and foxes.
Now we're just making a straight out departure?
It'll be to the south. On upwind, you'll turn right crosswind, and then you'll be pretty much on a south heading at that point.
Alright.
You already know your radio calls?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with those.
Cool.
I do a lot of simulated
And then this is the whole short line too. It's like impossible to see.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can kind of see it. It's not.
Oh, I see it. So I'm kind of over it.
Yeah, we are. But it's not really visible.
No, that's it. Okay. Yeah.
We'll do line up for departure check.
All right. So, do I need this? Mixture rich. Trim is takeoff. Looks good.
So if you also wanted to check too, you're in a new airplane you're unfamiliar with, you just look at the trim back there too. You could, make sure it's pretty much level with the elevator there.
Northeast, landing South Jersey.
Altitude squawk 1200 ALT. And icing on is required. If you're flying in icing conditions, it's prohibited. It says it right here. Flight into known icing conditions is prohibited, so I hate that that's on the checklist.
Okay.
Lights on. I mean, it's hazy-ish. Can't hurt to put nav light, strobe light, landing light.
And landing's up here.
Yeah. And heading indicator to compass. This shows 320. That shows 33. You could change it. We'll probably double check it again on the runway too.
I think I have to push it.
And then use the right one to turn to that 090 or east heading. So that way when you're on upwind, you're able to have a visual reference, or not a visual, but inside the aircraft. I don't know if that caravan's crossing or not. It looks like maybe he's getting ready to, but we'll make the radio call.
Alright. Are we going the short field or just a regular takeoff?
Let's just do regular takeoff.
Okay. And that's it, right?
Yeah.
For throttle full. Yeah, okay.
So it'll be flaps up, throttle full, 55 knots is rotation, 74 knots climb out. So upon rotation, slowly bring the nose up, because you actually want to stay in ground effect for a little bit. It's going to actually decrease your takeoff distance if you stay in ground effect a little bit, because you get a free ride, so you're getting free lift without the increase of drag when you're in ground effect. So catch a little bit of that ground effect and then continue that takeoff. So just slowly bring the nose up. Use the other end of the runway to keep this plane coordinated with rudder. So you're just using your feet to keep that nose straight.
Okay.
And then as you feel that you're good and comfortable, now slowly bring the nose up even more to the curvature part of the dash to the horizon. So like right here to the horizon.
Yep.
And you'll be all set.
Okay.
If you want, you make your radio call.
Alright. Cross keys traffic, Skyhawk, November 52261, departing runway 9er, departing to the south, cross keys. Is that accurate?
Perfect.
Okay.
Absolutely perfect. Once you're lined up, we'll double check that we have the correct heading inside and out. That's in case you were to take an intersection departure at like a towered or bigger field.
Right.
If you take that intersection departure, you're taking off on the incoming traffic because you turn in the opposite direction. That can be, fatal.
Yep, so runway checks.
Inside and out, looks good. And then you could do a rolling takeoff for this, so if you just keep your toes on the bottom portion of the pedal.
Alright.
And then, those look good. And then smoothly advance full throttle. We'll check the engine instruments. There you go. Yep. Right there. Oil temp pressure's in the green. And keep that right hand on the throttle just to guard it.
That's right, yeah.
And airspeed's 55, so just smoothly apply back pressure. And just use that end of the runway for rudder. Now you can bring that nose up a little bit. And use some trim to help you out if you need it. Just that way you can almost relieve the flight control pressures and take your hands off if you really needed to.
Should be pointed higher, yeah?
No, it's good right there. You're actually at 74 knots. If I move that real quick, you can see the curvature part. Like right at the horizon, you're perfect.
I think I'm a little higher than you. I'm like even with the top of the curve, but that's fine.
Okay.
Alright.
And 700 feet, you can clear right.
Runway 09.
So no one's on our right. And you can start a turn to the right. In this case, just pick a visual reference. So you have the road here, so just turn parallel the road or turn on top of the road.
Are you going to overtake me? You go much faster than I do. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
And then crossing 1,000 feet. So now we're at 1,000 feet. You're going to ease the nose forward, so you can use some forward trim if you wanted to. This just gives us better field of view for any other traffic in the area.
Alright. Temperatures and pressure's good.
Exactly, I was about to say that. So now the rest of the checklist, I mean, let's just say from memory standards, worst case scenario, just at least push the nose down and verify that you can continue flying away from the airport. Next important thing is, checklist. Climb 70 to 85 knots, throttle full, lean above 3,000 feet on the mixture. We're not above 3,000, so it's not needed. Engine instruments check. So engine instruments we said are in the green. We're clear of the TFR. And you can continue a little bit more to the right if you want to bug your heading for that 75, or I'm sorry, for that south heading. We have this quarry out here. See it? That's another one of my visual references that I use to keep myself away from the TFR.
Okay. And are we going to like 2,500, something like that? Whatever.
Yeah, let's use 2,500. That's good. Well, let's even go to 3,000. That way you can practice leaning the mixture out at altitude. And if you start to get static, it might be the headset jacks.
Oh, okay.
And let me know if you're hot, cold, whatever. Air vents are up here. Heat is right here, cabin heat.
Alright.
And we have 700 feet to go. You have the correct amount of right rudder, looks good. You're right at 80 knots. As long as you can see above the dash, you're good.
Yep.
And freezing levels, I can't remember, might have been 6,000 feet, 3,000.
So at that height, would you concern yourself with carb heat?
No, not unless you only have visible moisture.
Oh, okay.
And if you are flying with visible moisture and let's say you know that you need the carb heat out, then you shouldn't be flying in that area. The carb heat is for like that's all for known icing conditions. You'll never be in known icing conditions as long as you're flying correctly.
Okay.
I have on the map here preset in that area, so we would avoid that area if this is showing freezing right here. But if it's not showing freezing temperatures, then we can fly through it.
Okay.
There's 3,000, so you'll pitch first to the horizon, 3 inches below. Pull the power back, because as you pull that power back, since you trimmed first, now when you pull the power back, the nose is going to drop on you anyways.
Okay.
So it's always pitch, power, and then trim. So trim will be last.
South Jersey, RV-12, entering downwind on the 45 for 08, South Jersey.
Get down there.
Robin, half-mile final.
So you can pull the power back like a little bit more if you want.
I forgot, we gotta get down to
2100 would bring you to 95 knots. And do you know what maneuvering speed is?
No, I don't. I mean, I know what it is. I know what the term means, but I don't know specifically what it is for this plane.
Oh, okay. Yeah, about 95 knots for us. The term, it's just how fast the pilot can grab the yoke, pull the deflection, rip it into the lab without causing structural damage. The plane will reach a stall before it rips the wings off, I guess. Yeah, so it looks pretty good. What we're going to practice first is some steep turns while en route.
Okay.
You go ahead and turn right to like a heading of 200.
Alright.
We're over the town of Vineland. We're going to turn towards Millville. And now that we leveled off, we'll also check our cruise checklist.
Clear the active 09.
And maybe you have a little bit too much forward pressure there.
South
Oh,
Jersey,
yeah.
experimental
Geez, sorry.
November final 08, South Jersey.
It's just a tiny bit.
Cessna 92 Hotel, right down with 01, W.
Okay.
Alright, looking at the cruise checklist that we have here, we got power set. Ignore the 2200 to 27. Just keep it in the green arc, I would say, when flying.
Right.
That checklist might be for, you know, even another aircraft too. Another Cessna 172. The green arc starts at 2200.
Trim isn't quite set. Let me get this up a little bit.
So don't worry about trimming to maintain the 2000. Just hold whatever altitude you're currently at.
Okay.
And then once you get the trim set for this altitude, now just go ahead and, you know, flip the yoke back a little bit. So if you just do this, just pull it back, you're going to slow the airplane down, so as you level off, you're going to have to continue applying some back pressure because you slowed the plane down until it speeds up. Then that trim that you set previously for the power setting should be good.
Right. And so, if I'm like a little low, 75, 100 feet, it's fine to like make a steeper maneuver like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're going to be applying for your commercial pilot's license, it's to stay within standards, not how smooth of a pilot you are.
Oh, okay.
You know, so don't ever worry about how I'm feeling. Because
okay.
I'm not going to get, you know, you're not going to G-load me or anything.
Alright.
Feel fine. And then for your headset jack, kind of move the headset jack maybe. One of these are, there you go.
Alright. So, where were we?
6 miles to the
Cruise trim is set.
to the south and bound for
Mixture lean.
So for this, just turn it back. And the reason why we have the turning mechanism on it is so that way we don't accidentally pull the mixture all the way to lean,
Right.
you know, and cut the engine off. So just keep turning it till you get roughness and engine idle or drop an RPM, and then quickly go, you know, forward with it just a little bit. You'll find yourself coming out pretty good amount.
Okay.
And let's say worst case scenario, you kill the engine. It'll go. So there you go. You drop and then push it forward. And you can go forward a little bit more, about 3 swipes or something like that. There you go.
Alright,
And then see that big lake out there?
Yep.
You can turn right towards that, or left towards it.
Silver traffic, white Cessna, we are on 2 mile fire now, runway 22, Silver traffic.
I think it's mine.
If you hold it up, I wonder if you could like kind of, there you go, put it right on the primer.
Alright, there we go.
Alright, so
No.
everything's set, and then landing light you turn off for cruise. Alright, so we'll start off with some steep turns. First thing we're going to do is just clear the area. So you're going to do, and we're about 85 knots, so try and add some power. Maybe the smallest amount, just get it up to 21. There you go, it should be good enough.
Okay.
And don't worry about the speed coming in right away, because over time it's going to get there.
Alright.
Alright, so first thing we'll do is just do 90-degree clearing turns. So we have our heading, we'll bug it. And then just go ahead and look up to your left 90 degrees and just turn towards whatever's on your left 90 degrees. And you're just going to practice maintaining altitude while doing that. So
Okay.
altitude's going to stay. You got your turn coordinator to make sure you're in a standard rate turn.
Going to 45 for runway 9, cross T.
And you just keep your eyes segmented about 10-degree increments, looking out, scanning. 10-degree increments, you know, for about 5-10 seconds maybe.
Right.
You want to detect movement across the horizon.
Good.
And then we also do have this down here for traffic. 6 miles is our radius for traffic right now. And you know, just clear right, look off to your right, pick a visual reference. This road looks promising, and then use this. You know, use that.
Silver traffic, 5 miles per minute, left base 32, Silver.
That looks good. And you're maintaining altitude the whole time. We will go into a 45-degree bank. You'll notice when crossing 30 degrees of bank in this plane, you're going to start needing back pressure.
Okay.
As you increase back pressure, you're really increasing lift. When you increase lift, you increase drag. So when you increase lift, you bring the nose up, the plane slows down, your speed loses,
Right.
drop speed.
Yep.
So through this steep turn, you're going to start to apply about a little bit of power. Maybe about 100 RPM. At this
Okay.
point, maybe you already have that 100 RPM, so
Yeah.
maybe it should already be fine.
Yeah, we're at 22 right now, looks like.
Yeah, so if you clear left, and then go ahead and start rolling, that's 10, 20, 30, and 60. So, you know, somewhere in the middle between 30 and...
So like 45?
Yep, we'll go right to 45.
Alright. Good.
And as you bank left, yeah, you maybe need a little bit of left rudder, and start bringing that nose up. So use the orange ball on the horizon as a reference.
Okay.
So keep pulling that nose up. And if you go into the brown, it's going to be hard to recover.
Oh, I see. So I gotta
There's
get it.
30. Yep, you can start banking a little bit more. You'll notice you'll need more back pressure as you do that. And potentially more, so apply more back pressure, so really pull it back, like be aggressive with it.
Alright, not really.
Alright, good.
I'm losing altitude.
Yep, good. Just be really aggressive.
Alright.
Just, you could, you know,
I'm not used to this, so
Yeah.
bear with me. Come on.
And there's your heading coming right back in, so start rolling wings level. Push the nose down so you don't get that you won't get a like a balloon effect happen.
Alright.
And then you go ahead and roll to the right.
Alright, should I let me get back up to 3,000.
Yeah, absolutely.
70 traffic,
Alright.
And you can roll right, cleared right. The reason why you always go to the left first is in case traffic's overtaking you on the right.
Right.
So your clearing turns always go to the left.
Alright. Let's try this.
As you roll right, a little bit of right rudder.
2814 Victor, base 09, roughly.
Now, as you have this visual reference there, ball on the horizon, look outside, figure out where the horizon's cutting across your dash, maybe here.
It's a little high, but right where that
Here.
stuff is sticking out.
So try and pick a visual reference there,
Yeah.
and then when you need to adjust, don't let it go past, you know, a certain amount. So, because it doesn't take a lot of adjustments here. I mean, you are dropping a little bit, so you bring it up, and then see what that correction did on your horizon.
Okay. Whoops.
And your heading's coming in.
So I lost some altitude there.
I don't think I have goggles in here. We'll do that another time. Alright, so if you want, you can give it one more time. We have enough time if you want to try and get one more in.
Okay.
We're about to come up on Millville Airport. I'm just going to turn into 12300, and I have to do that on both of them. That's the common traffic advisory frequency.
Good. Do one more of these.
Alright, watch your airspeed slow.
Oh, alright.
So just add power through this turn. And just keep that nose down.
Downwind, 8. Blue Cherokee set out of Delta 3010 south at a high above the airport. We're going to steep spiral, simulate engine out number 2 for runway 8, Penrich.
You're a little high, and you're going to have to push the nose down, and as you push the nose down, your speed's going to increase, so maybe just reduce a tiny bit of throttle as you push the nose down.
Okay.
And you see how you kind of got the yoke not neutral now? You're kind of like trying to bank out of the turn?
Yeah, I know.
Because you just need rudder.
So unnerving to me. I'm not used to that.
Now you want to make a big correction real quick before you start the turn. So just push the nose down aggressively, pull the power back a little bit, and just go for the sound of the engine, where the engine's at, and pull the nose back up. put the power back into to what you heard before, where that engine sounded like it was at. And then when ready, go ahead and bank right. You're probably good. You're at 95 knots, 3,000.
Bank 210.
Alright, set the bank.
Yep. And then get more right rudder in. Start bringing that nose up because the nose is going to drop below the horizon. There you go. And for this, you're going to do an instrument scan. It's going to start with the attitude always because that's your primary instrument.
Right.
So you just make sure attitude indicator looks good, airspeed, attitude heading, attitude altimeter. So you go a T scan, center left, center down, center right.
Okay.
And that's like the easiest scan to try and get down early on. Center left, center bottom, center right. And of course you do have to include your turn coordinator in there though a little bit.
Alright, something that I need a lot of practice with.
Yeah, well, get used to it. Millville Airport is 12 o'clock.
Yep.
We're going to use the water that's down here that I was talking about.
Okay.
So you could stay a little bit to the left until we pass the airport. Maybe take like Route 55 as a visual reference. That way we stay clear of the traffic pattern.
Alright.
And we'll start a descent down to about 1,300 feet.
Okay.
And for that descent, you just follow the descent checklist.
Yep, alright, so descent checklist
for,
Let's
see. Maybe I'll even give you something else, because I want to practice, I want to practice some spirals here. So, I think we'll be
Cherokee 7700 Golf.
clear of the pattern.
Runway 8. We have the traffic just vacated off the runway in Pembridge.
So I was trying to look for a water tower or something.
Hey, where's, is that the airport right there?
Yeah, that's Millville.
Okay, got it.
There might be a water tower coming up on your left.
There's not one that I can see yet.
It's on the Route 55, it should be.
Oh, I know this water tower.
Oh, you drive down here?
I used to, yeah. Oh shit, yeah, I got it.
Alright, I want you to do is spiral down. So you're going to just kind of descend at 500 feet per minute.
Okay.
And you're just going to continue doing 360s around that water tower until we get to our 1,300 feet.
Okay.
So the descent checklist will be mixture full rich,
mixture full,
RP'd out, then yeah, throttle as required.
Throttle was, I believe, 1,500, right?
Yeah, that should work. And we're well enough away from the traffic pattern there. I got one guy in the pattern I have
see
in
him,
sight. I'll make radio calls if I need to.
Alright, so pitch power trim
9873 Victor, 10 miles
for 500
down to runway 10.
feet a minute, right?
Yeah, roughly about that.
Alright, where's the water tower? Not there yet.
West Point traffic, China 68 Yankee, I'll be descending north of the field.
Morning traffic, the final 14 mile traffic to the
Alright, we're almost abeam. Alright.
Not that there's any wind today really, but
I know.
still just gives you something to visually try and track while descending and looking inside and outside of the airplane.
Yeah.
And just try and, you know, go for the same radius because we don't want to drift towards the airport anyways. And, you know, you're at 500 feet per minute and airspeed's about 85 knots.
Foxtrot is 4 miles west of field, 2,700 inbound. Going to join the left downwind 30 on the 45. 10%.
More of a bank here.
Full traffic, Skyhawk 6 Bravo Sierra, turn to left base 10 full stop, Nova traffic.
And, you know, I don't have any traffic here, but it's good that I see you kind of like scanning the horizon still, because you're looking for anything that wouldn't be on ADSB, like a bird or whatever.
Alright, 2,000, still at 500 feet per minute.
And let's say this was an emergency and you're doing this spiral over your landing field that you had in mind.
Okay.
The one thing you could do is use that feet per minute plus a standard rate turn, knowing you'll get a 360-degree turn in 2 minutes. So you can expect a 360-degree turn in 2 minutes as well as losing 1,000 feet.
Right.
So you can kind of use that math, the simple math, as a visual, as a reference to get like a, perform and then verify.
And then, what did we say we're going down to?
1,300. So it looks like you got 500 feet to go. So we should be 180 degrees, 1,300 feet perfectly by the time we're done this. If you hold that 500 feet per minute descent.
Which I'm having difficulty doing.
You're doing well for the most part.
Not staying right on this tower either.
7% traffic, Archer 11 Foxtrot, joining the left downwind on the 45, 30.
January traffic, suspicion of floor leaving 5 miles to the east, inbound.
Oops, upstairs.
So there you go. Look, you're perfectly 180 degrees on the other side of 55. Like, this is perfect.
On the 1907 is departing runway
Loading up a little.
Straight out.
Alright, and we'll make a right turn 180 degrees so you can maintain that 130 heading.
Heading, or?
I'm sorry, 1,300, and we'll make a 180 degree turn. Maybe like a south heading.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I misspoke there.
Traffic, hour 98 Romeo is a 6 mile final, RNAV 12 Somerset will break off, go into left downwind for 30. Millville traffic, 923 Victor, will be on the 45, we're 3 miles out, inbound from runway 10 full stop. Traffic, Archer 779 Golf, is departing to southwest, now southeast, final call.
Millville traffic, White Scock 261, about 5 miles east of the field, 1,400. We're traveling southbound. We'll remain east of the field. Millville traffic.
Henry's traffic, Skyline 8 November.
And I'm just going visual off this, so let's just do that. Way you have an idea of what our distance is from the field. I said approximately 5 miles. We're actually exactly at 4 miles.
Okay.
So these are kind of the things where I'm saying we don't need a GPS for. Just take an idea.
Right.
4 miles. We're east of the field, because to get to the field would be over this direction. We're from this direction.
Yep. Okay. Seems closer to me than 4 miles, but I will learn that eventually.
That looks like a jet that just departed. You got him about a foot above the horizon off our right. He's going to go well over top of us. He's already 1,000 feet above.
I don't see it. I got him, yeah.
And then you can start going right towards the water. So the goal is for this, is we're just going to try and, power can be adjusted through this if it's needed. Like, you'll find yourself making fairly steep bank angles here. And we're going to try and stay below 95 knots. Do we want to stay below maneuvering speed?
Millville traffic.
And you can go carpet back in as well, sorry.
For runway. Traffic here, E33 Alpha turning.
So I just want you to try and get the sight picture of as you roll left and right, where the nose is on the horizon, as well as trying to just use rudder. And you're going to keep this airplane over top of the water the whole time. Just compensating for wind drift if there was any, which, really there's not going to be today, so. It's just really to just get that sight picture of rolling the plane left and right, keeping the nose on the horizon, and maintaining altitude just by looking at the horizon.
Right.
And as you roll left and right, sometimes as you go into a steeper bank, you might hear that prop working harder or not spinning as fast.
Right.
So you just add some power to listen to it.
Okay.
Listen to it, add some power, so that way the prop goes right back to the original noise that it was making. And just that alone can be almost enough to maintain the airspeed that you wanted.
Right.
You know, occasionally look inside and outside. And this is showing traffic 1,200 feet below us. That's probably a helicopter doing some surveying or something like that down there.
Yeah, that's gotta be right at ground level.
Yeah. And, you know, we'll continue looking out for seagulls.
Oh yeah.
See a bunch of them over here.
Oh yeah, I see them.
Alright, so yeah, you can just use this water, and you can start banking whenever you feel ready. And just keep right hand on throttle the whole time.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'll get used to that.
And you'll find yourself as you're in a right, like we're going to start rolling to the right pretty aggressively.
Okay.
And as we go to the right, you know, just add that right rudder in. And as you go to the left, once you start to make the left turn back in, you're going to have to drop the wing down with using left rudder. So you'll kind of use the rudder to help get out of the bank.
Whoops. Are we doing standard turns here, or?
No, just whatever bank angle it takes. I'll let you know if it starts to become too much.
Are we just going back and forth here?
Exactly, yeah.
Cool. I'm kind of... shit.
Millville traffic, 73 Victor, left base, runway 10, Millville.
And if you want, I can even demonstrate one to you real quick.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
It's going to take a lot of moving the aircraft down. I'll take controls real quick.
Your controls.
So, I mean, you kind of just, you know, look to the bottom and then look at the horizon the whole time while making the turns. So let's say we have to go straight for a hot second here.
Okay.
And I'm just looking down at the ground still at the corner of my eye. And, you know, it's going to take a good amount of bank to keep it. And as I do that, I could add some power to this turn.
Millville traffic, 73 Victor.
And you know that if you're trying to adjust the bank angle still, it's because you don't have the right rudder.
Okay.
You don't have enough, you know, rudder control in. So see how it's sloppy going in? So if I drop it with my right foot, it turns into it immediately.
Gotcha.
And I'm just looking out there on the horizon the whole time, while, you know, kind of looking off my shoulder. And because this is a steep turn, I added a little power. Now, as I know I'm going to come out of it, I could reduce a little bit of power. Drop the wing down with my left foot.
Millville traffic, 73 Victor, short final runway 10.
And add some power back in.
I don't know why, but when I'm doing these steep turns, I feel uncomfortable, but I feel totally comfortable when you do it. So why is that?
So see how, like here, I'm going to drop the wing with rudder as well as with the aileron. And you can see it performs really well there. I can add power in. And then just getting my sight picture for where that horizon sits the whole time. The goal is just to have an understanding of when you bank the plane left and right, how you can fixate on the horizon to make sure that the plane's not going to climb or descend. There's a bird out there. And you can take controls if you're ready.
My controls.
And you have that guy on our right sight.
Sorry.
He's going behind us.
There we go.
Alright.
So, there we go. Is that too much?
No. And see, as you bank, the nose is kind of dropping a little bit, so just pull back pressure. And as you want to roll back out of this to the right, add some right rudder and bring the wing to the right. Yep, and just looking at that horizon. Looks good.
So, I forgot, when we roll out of a turn,
You drop it the other, yeah, you just think about dropping the wing, so you drop the wing, you stomp on the high wing.
I'm sorry, what I was going to ask is the throttle.
Throttle? Okay.
When I roll out of a turn, am I expecting to add more throttle or
No, less throttle.
Okay.
As you roll into the bank, you'll need to add power.
Okay.
So as you roll into that bank, just add some power here because your airspeed drops.
Okay.
So you add power to compensate for that loss of airspeed. And as you roll out, let's say like you roll left, drop the left wing down with rudder, just pull power back the tiniest bit if needed. Unless you're going right into another turn,
Right,
you know?
okay, that's it. So like I'm descending here, let me straighten out. Get a little higher here.
Yeah, feel free to, you know, if you need to at full throttle, rip the yoke up, climb, get your 100 feet, and then pull back and do whatever it takes, you know?
Alright, cool.
Like I said, being a commercial pilot doesn't mean being a smooth pilot.
Right.
That'll come over time. Flying within standards, what the EFA wants or ACS.
Get to the right here.
And I'll let you know if I ever have to take the control because I find a bird or something like that.
Alright, cool.
I'll dodge it for us.
Delaware, Coldstone Airport, Trincomac 8475 Yankee, we're 16 miles to the west, 4 being or less down the way, 4.1, Delaware. Traffic, helicopter to departing pattern, northeast, orchid.
There you go. Yep. See how it drops real nice and easy? It's more responsive there.
Alright.
But see, that's the thing is you want this airplane to be responsive to what you want to be able to control this thing. That's why I practice.
I'm just not used to, like, I didn't realize how much rudder you need to put in.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Exactly.
Get up here.
7 miles to the northeast over.
Okay.
Yeah, mechanic traffic, helicopter 257 Mike Tango is probably 5.5 miles east, 1,300 southbound, yeah, mechanic.
I'll have to take a look at that thing when it's on the ground.
Delaware Coastal, you have a Cessna 600 feet.
And then it's just pick like that little, there's like a tiny sandbar island right there. You can just make a 180 around that and we'll jump back on it the other way.
Okay.
This is East Point Lighthouse. I mean, it's really not a lighthouse. It's actually more like a legit house with a light on top. It's kind of cool out here.
Down there with the red roof?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Where are we?
And all the time I'm picking ground references. So like, that's our ground reference. We're going to make a 180-degree turn around it. That way you can perform, and then you verify that you're where you want the airplane to be. You'll find yourself using a lot of ground references while even in the traffic pattern, trying to avoid other people. Let's say you got your head in your lap, you're doing 360s around something because you're trying to figure out who you are and where you're at still, so
right.
As long as you can remain in the same position, you're not going to bust airspace. You're not going to start drifting towards something that you're not supposed to be in. So I do this stuff all the time.
Yeah, traffic, helicopter 257 Mike Tango, 4 miles to the east, 1,000 southbound, campus.
So I've gained a couple hundred feet here. Do we care?
Yeah, go ahead and just pull the power back.
Okay. I mean, are we okay at this level since we...
It's just 13. 13 is good because it's close enough to the ground to keep a visual reference.
Okay.
So just go ahead and pull at 15, shove the nose down if you want. I don't care. Let's say you're on a check ride. You're getting your private pilot's license.
All right.
You have $600 on the line plus the aircraft rental plus all the time you spent.
All right.
You don't want to get a failure. You're going to do whatever it takes to maintain that altitude that you have to maintain plus or minus 100 feet. For $600, you're going to shove that yoke down, rip it up, full throttle, power idle.
You don't get graded for
Yeah, you don't get graded for how smooth of a pilot. There's a bunch of birds here.
Where?
Make left pretty hard.
Delaware Coastal.
There you go. Now we'll just stay straight for a hot second.
Okay.
Northeast, Delaware Coastal.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of seagulls.
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
Did you see them all?
Yeah, I didn't even see them. Glad you did.
Yeah, I got a good eye for birds now after this.
Oh, was that a bird strike?
Yeah.
Did it shatter the windshield?
Whole thing right here.
Will be,
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. Funniest part though, it was with an intro student, and he thought it was normal. You know, you hear about bird strikes, it's normal for bigger airplanes, but for a plane like this, it's definitely not. You know, it's not something fun.
Yeah.
Alright, we can probably resume.
Alright.
Good.
Go to the left here. Was that too much rudder right there?
A little bit,
Okay.
just a little bit. You could hear the prop. You hear the prop like make that weird like groan.
Yeah.
And see how kind of the nose is dropping quite a bit below that horizon. You can feel it like sinking. And to correct, yeah, it might take enough back pressure to feel yourself really G-loading the plane. You can feel it in your ears. And that's fine. Do whatever it takes. Just know as you G-load the plane, you're increasing lift, so you might have to add some power simultaneously. And then as you relieve that, you'll probably pull the power back slowly. This whole thing is just making throttle adjustments and visual references. There's a bird to our left, so you cut it to the right a little bit.
Oh, God, he's right at our level.
There you go. He's behind us.
Man, you're good at that.
Told you. You get good after you hit one.
Millville traffic, vehicle operation on 1432, crossing 2810, runway inspection, Millville traffic advised. Millville traffic, County 20970, 50 minutes out. You'll be done with that runway inspection.
There was another one, but I'll let you know if he's a factor or not. I don't think he is. They kind of feel the tail kick out of the turn. That's just an indication that maybe you used a tiny bit too much.
Yep. You have to do it a lot harder on the right. I think that's what I'm trying to get used to.
Yeah. No. Yeah, when you go to the left, you almost just relieve the pedal pressure.
Right.
It's almost all it takes. Yeah, and you know the left turning tendencies, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Alright.
Delaware Coastal, Twin Command Gauge 475 Yankee is entering into 45 for runway 10 at Delaware Coastal.
Traffic vehicle operations crossing the surface at 1028. Only inspection is 221.
Yeah, and just start from here, I guess. I said, start from here, I guess. We'll continue tracking towards Millville. That way we can go do a lap in the pattern. I'm going to start getting the weather real quick while you're doing this.
Roger.
Observation 1411 Zulu. Wind 120 at 07. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 13 Celsius.
Just sticking to the water here?
Yep. 1 Celsius. Altimeter 3040. Remarks. Density altitude minus 500. Millville. Automated weather observation 1411 Zulu. Wind 120 at 07. Visibility.
Mobile traffic, there's operation.
Alright. When you're ready, let me know. We'll start joining the traffic pattern.
Ready when you are.
We can try and start pointing towards the air, or actually just stay right on this water, honestly. Just go straight. I'm just going to brief you real quick on it. You see the concrete runway, the beige looking?
Yep.
We're going to be landing on, there's going to be an asphalt runway that crosses that one. We're going to enter the left crosswind runway 10. So 10, when we're on final, we're going to be pointing that direction. So the takeoff end, or departing end is this way.
Right. So we're on crosswind, downwind.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep. So we're going to enter left crosswind for 10. We are, let's just take a random guess. We were 4 miles earlier. This almost looks like 4 miles again. So,
Yankee turning left base, runway 10 at Delaware.
exactly 4 miles.
All right. To me, that looks like half a mile.
Yeah, you have to start getting used to what it looks like on an airplane,
for sure.
I guess.
For sure.
Also, 4 miles is probably to the center of the field, and yeah, the runway's long.
Right.
Too, so maybe that's another thing that throws it off a little bit. Millville traffic, White Skyhawk 261, about 4 miles southeast of the field. Inbound left crosswind entry, runway 10, Millville traffic. Alright, we have 1230 in there. You go ahead and start drifting a little bit towards the airport. Enter like a 45-degree entry to the crosswind. So that would take kind of pointing right at the runway numbers.
Delaware Coastal, Twin Comanche.
What is that, 10 plus runway 28?
Final runway 10 at Delaware Coastal.
And runway
traffic,
10.
operations on 28. Approach end of 1, runway inspection. Global traffic advice.
And we can start, get that descent down to 1,100 feet. So, yep, mixture is rich. And this looks like a good, somewhat of a good distance for your crosswind. Okay. So I'd say you could probably start turn, and then we'll keep about a 3/4 of a mile distance away from the airport when turning left downwind. Okay. There's 1,100 coming in. So if you look at the airport, 3/4 of a mile away, maybe I don't know, just slightly right of the blue hangar.
Okay.
So as long as you just pick up visual reference and stay slightly right of that blue hangar, you'll be good. And Millville traffic, White Skyhawk 261 is turning left downwind, runway 10, Millville traffic. And then, pick up another reference like the Red Barn.
Operations on 1028. Runway inspections crossing 1432. Millville traffic advised.
Alright, so you go throttle right back into 2,100. I'm just going to talk you through majority of this landing, unless you want me to demonstrate.
Are we just going through the pattern? Are we actually landing?
Let's do a low approach first.
Okay.
So we're just going to keep it low to the ground.
Okay.
About 50 feet above the ground. So once we're going, let's say we're landing on the 1,000-foot markers, the big stripes.
Yep.
Once we're next to that, we're going to start our before landing checklist. Yeah, there's a checklist for it. I'm going to demonstrate a flow method to you.
Okay.
So you're just going to keep that horizon in the same spot, pull the power down to 1,500. As you pull power back, increase lift, so that way the horizon stays. Go to the floor. So it kind of just works throttle, trim, if you need to trim the nose up. floor, fuel selectors on both, and then work your way left to right. So all your lights, you can turn your landing light on. Turn carpeet's already out, fixture's already full rich, and 10 degrees of flaps, below 110.
Traffic advised.
So you're below 110. And now that you have that, now just push the nose so the horizon stays about 3 inches above the compass, or maybe about midpoint of the horizon. So you're at 55 knots, just push the nose down. Don't worry about keeping it super close here, just worry about flying the plane. So you push the nose down some more.
Are we descending at this point?
Yep.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yep. So right there, and I'll go ahead and turn left 90 degrees, so pick something off your left.
Departure approach of 10, waiting for the traffic to land and for the...
Keep that nose down quite a bit.
Dang it.
Thank you, sir.
Coastal connected 63 Foxtrot is 8 to the northeast, inbound for a left base entry 10, Citadel Coastal.
And Melville traffic, White Skyhawk 261 is left base 10, and we lost sight of that ground vehicle. Where are you at, Melville?
The ground vehicle's on the approach end of 28. I'm stopped to get some FOD off the runway. Melville traffic advised.
Roger that. We're just going to do a low approach anyways. 10, left close traffic, Melville.
All right, received. Please stay clear of the runway for 2AM.
Roger that.
Is this a good time to turn?
Yep. And we got an airport vehicle on the runway anyways.
10 miles out. It's going to enter to a left downwind from the 14.
And you can go 30 degrees of flaps. And
should be no factor. Vehicle operations continuing. Inspection on 2810, crossing 3214. Millville traffic.
And you just so happen to be at 65 knots because the horizon is in the same spot. So if you wanted to descend, all you would do is reduce power.
Okay.
And we're going to keep it a little higher than 50 feet anyways because of that vehicle operation.
I see it down there. Is the vehicle on the runway?
Yep.
Runway inspection.
Is this just winds knocking us around?
No, it's kind of pilot induced.
Okay. How do I not do that?
So try and just let go of the yoke a little bit and just use rudder.
Traffic.
Please advise.
Alright.
I don't like the yoke.
And you can maintain altitude here, so add some power.
Use caution over the Penridge Airport. 2 minutes till skydivers. 12,500 Penridge Airport.
We going 2100 or?
Yeah, about just enough to maintain altitude. So add just a little bit of power. Feel yourself. You can kind of see us sinking a little bit more. And just keep the nose down, just like that, in the same spot.
I don't feel like I'm putting all these sideways motions in, but maybe I am.
No, it might just be slightly jerky with the controls, that's why. Here, go ahead and add full throttle. As you apply full throttle, keep the nose down. So keep the nose down, go full throttle.
Carpeet in?
Yeah, but push full throttle.
Okay.
Carpeet in, force the nose down. Go 20 degrees of flaps. So get the carpeet in first. 20 degrees is in. Now pitch the nose up to the curvature part of the dash.
Vehicle operations in clear. 2810.
And you have heading 100. And just use enough rudder to maintain that heading.
2810 open.
Double traffic, Skylane 209 for the Sierra, entering the left downwind on 14, full stop, Millville.
And you've cleared every obstacle in the area. Now you can go ahead and push the nose down some more to get 74 knots.
81 Hotel is going to taxi into position on 10 and holding for the traffic landing on 14.
And you can smoothly start to put the flaps up. And Melville traffic, White Skyhawk 261, upwind 10. We're going around main left close traffic, Melville. And you go flaps all the way up, and pitch the nose for 74 knots again. And if you need to, just use that nose up trim, so you just swipe it pretty quick, keep full throttle in. And when able, go ahead and clear left 90 degrees.
Come on, get up there.
And you can go ahead and look on your left for something and just go ahead and turn 90 degrees left. And we'll level off 1,100.
For traffic landing on 14.
Level off here?
Yep.
What else? Can you indications, vehicle operations to clear active runway.
Nova traffic, Skylane 209 from there, turning final.
This is kind of annoying and weird because we got a ground vehicle that's now cleared of 10. We got another guy trying to land 14. We got another guy trying to take off of 10. Sorry. I'm just like listening to these guys too. I'm like, why is this guy landing 14 now when he could have just landed 10 because everybody else is doing it. Ground vehicle just cleared. Now the ground vehicle's got to go to 14 and this guy's trying to land. I don't know what these guys are doing.
Oh, that's
And Millville traffic, White Sky 261 is left downwind 10. We got the final 14 traffic in sight, Millville.
Millville traffic, vehicle operations crossing the coast over at Juliet, Millville traffic. Millville traffic, no background 114, clear on Bravo.
So when will we start the descent again?
Once we're next to our 1,000-foot mark. Do you mind if I demonstrate one lap in here?
Yeah, do it.
So I'll take
Your controls.
And I just want to show you one thing that you can really do, especially on a calm wind day in this airplane, is try and not make so many movements. So here's our reference point. We got guys landing here, and we're probably going to end up having to extend this to wait for those guys. Let's see. I'm going to pull the power back as I do that, 1500. The nose wants to drop, so I just keep it up because I want to slow my speed down. The goal is to slow the airplane, and the last thing is to put flaps down because we have to slow the plane to put flaps in.
Got it.
So the plane's slowing down, fuel selectors on both, lights, carb heat, mixture, 10 degrees, we're below 110, so that's good. And then I can use trim if I need to, so. It's bouncing around a little bit. If I don't do anything and I just stop on the high wing, that wing will drop. So I'm just kind of doing this with rudder to fix for it. It cleared left. It looks like this road is perfect, so I'll just use the road. And if I go into the bank and I just leave the yoke alone, you know, you'll get these sudden drafts on one wing and the other. You just let it happen for the most part. Yeah, to an extent. If I needed to, I just use rudder to drop the wing. I'm using pitch to maintain airspeed, so my pitch is staying in the same spot, and I'll roll wings level here. Pitch is being in the same spot to control my descent rate, or I'm sorry, to control my airspeed, where throttle is consistent and it's controlling my 500 foot per minute descent rate. So if I'm low, I add power and I keep the nose down. If I'm high, I pull the power back and I just, keep the horizon right where it's at.
Double traffic.
I'll go 20 degrees. We're below 85 knots. And Millville traffic, White Skyhawk 261 is left base 10 Millville traffic.
We'll fly over the field and going left down for 11 traffic.
By final, I want to slow the plane down to 65, so that just takes pulling the nose up a little bit. Maybe I'm turning a little early here. There's really no wind here.
Penridge traffic, caravan.
So here we go. I get the bank angle set. And now as long as I have rudder set.
81 Hotel is making a right turn out for Millville on 10, heading south.
There's 2 red, 2 white. There's a bird above us here.
Left downwind, 14, both down.
I see him, yep.
There's another one over there. Alright, I'm going to start slowing this plane down.
The caravan is
so to slow it down, I had to pull power back. As I pulled power back,
we'll be overtaking you here in a couple seconds.
There you go. Alright.
Thank you. Caravan downwind, runway 8, Penridge.
So these little drafts here, I can just use a little bit of rudder, but as I get close to the runway, I want to start using rudder to keep this nose lined up with the runway at all times. And then I'm just using aileron for wind drift. Let's say I was all the way over here to the right. All the way to the right, keep the nose lined up with the runway, and then just use aileron to drift the plane. As I drift to the left, at that right rudder.
Oh, I got you.
So try and just do whatever it takes to always have the nose lined up, so by the time you drift back, it's straight. That's it. And Millville traffic, White Sky 261, low approach, 10, be doing a go around left close traffic below. And as long as you just keep rudder to keep that nose lined up the whole time, it's going to be, ready, and you're just using aileron wind drift. When you do that go around, full throttle, push the nose down, carb heat, 20 degrees. Now I can go ahead and pull the nose up. Curvature part of the dash, because we have flaps in, it's still approximately the same sight picture as that 74 knots with flaps up.
Right.
I just hold it there, verify we're getting a positive rate of climb, verify that we're cleared all the trees and obstacles, and then I push the nose down to gain airspeed over the wing, or more airflow, and then I can start bringing the flaps up. Because if I kept the nose up and I start bringing flaps up, I'm reducing my lift, and you're at a slow airspeed.
Yeah.
So you might just end up getting a sink. And then now I can just kind of trim the airplane back out 74 and hold it. And once we get 300 feet below traffic pattern altitude, I'll turn crosswind.
Jabiru is 7 miles.
That gives you 300 feet to climb on crosswind, and that'll get you 3 miles.
Trading for runway 10
below us there.
So again, I'll demonstrate the turn here. So we got 100 feet to go. We're cleared left. As I'm ready to turn into that bank, I just keep it banked. And as long as you're using rudder to keep the bank in the same bank that you set, I'm not even looking inside for it. Just
Double traffic, turning
bird
final,
over here.
14 shut final, full stop, Nova.
So as long as you keep, like if I'm not using rudder, you'll see what the one wing just starts picking up. I didn't set that bank angle,
right.
I set this bank angle, so I just hold the bank angle there with rudder alone, and it will stay. Pitch power trim. And I'll let you take controls. We're in a bank.
My controls.
Your flight controls. And Millville traffic. White Skyhawk 261 is left downwind 10, searching for the other traffic. We got you in sight, Millville.
At 2,000 feet, we'll be joining left downwind 11 traffic.
Robinson traffic 43138, over Robinson with EOR 2,200, doing a hold.
Man, the bird activity is insane.
It is.
West Point traffic, clear operations over the field in 1 minute, 9,000 and below. Please caution in the area, do not overfly the field, West Point.
Is that Millville?
No, something else, I believe.
And Wainsfield traffic, Suicide Delta Yankee is 15 northwest, inbound during the left downwind runway 6 wind. Delaware Coast Open Twin Command 2747 Kilo Papa 10 to the west inbound for landing, Delaware Coast.
Alright. So, going.
So start with throttle, slow the plane down.
Skyline is clear.
So center, floor.
Nova is 3 west, simulated engine
Center,
out, 8
floor.
Greenwich.
And then left to right. So lights, carb heat,
Lights, carb heat.
mixtures full rich, and then 10 degrees of flaps. Flaps is last because, like I said, you have to slow the plane down in order to use it.
Got it. I need to.
Millville traffic, Jabiru is on a 4-mile final, straight in runway 10, Millville.
Millville traffic, White Skyhawk 261 turning left base 10. I believe we have you in sight, Millville traffic.
We're looking for you.
And you can go ahead and turn left 90 degrees.
6A Juliet.
Are you guys shooting the ILS?
Affirm, 6A Juliet.
And go ahead and continue that turn.
Robinson traffic, Warrior over the turnpike, 1,400. We are joining left downwind for 11 traffic.
Delaware Coastal traffic.
And it looks like we're just descending greater than 500 feet, so you could add a little bit of power.
Secure drop entry to the downwind for 10 Delaware Coastal.
And then go ahead and turn your 90 degrees again.
Practice EOR 290 Robbinsville 2,200.
We got you inside Millville traffic.
And you got 2 red, 2 white. That's exactly what you want to see here.
Alright.
And Millville traffic, White Skyhawk 261, short final 10, be a low approach only, Millville traffic.
We got you inside. Millville traffic, Jabiru is on a 3-mile final, runway 10. It will be a full stop, Millville.
And then airspeed's at 75 right now, so you can pitch the nose up slowly, just small amounts. As you pitch the nose up, that motherfucking. There you go, and just start adding power to maintain altitude here.
Command 747, Kilo Papa is 5 miles to the west, and that flight coming up 45. So downwind 4, runway 4.
I can already see that you're feeling a lot better on this one.
Yeah, I think you demonstrating was very helpful. I had a death grip on the.
That could be. Yeah. I see now you're holding it with 2 fingers. Alright, you do a go around here. We got someone landing behind us.
Full throttle, nose down.
10 at Millville.
And carb heat in.
Carb heat in.
And we're going around now, Millville traffic. And
flaps already 20.
So you go ahead and pitch 60 knots. And make sure your hand's on throttle.
Oh,
there you go. And you're cleared all obstacles in South Jersey. You got to push the nose down.
Delaware Coastal, Twin Comanche.
And retract flaps up to smoothly.
Delaware Coastal. Delaware Coastal, Twin Comanche 747 Kilo Papa is entering left downwind runway 4. Hello, that's Foxtrot.
And it's going to drift a little bit to the right. Looks like the winds are bringing us to the left a little bit. We look off. Sometimes it's not a bad idea. Look off your shoulder behind us. Just look at the runway.
All right. We're going to mend, and we'll pop in on the downwind for 4 behind the Twin Comanche. 3, I guess, steering Delaware Coastal.
And then at 800 feet, clear left and turn 90 degrees left.
Now we're 57 Charlie, that's great. 8 miles north, left downwind runway 04. Delaware Coastal. Delaware Coastal traffic. Millville traffic, Trevor is clear of the runway. Millville.
I want to know what this job Peru is and whatever it is.
Straight turn out to the southeast. Final call tender. See you.
Millville traffic, White Skyhawk 261 is left downwind 10 Millville traffic. And then on this one, I'll see if you can get it. If you get it close enough to the ground that it's looking good, I'm going to just help assist a little bit with the flare. When you're short final, you're within power off distance to land, you're just going to pull the power to idle, and we're just going to pitch the whole time to slowly bleed off speed.
During left downwind 06.
So your flare is really just to slow the plane down.
Right.
And you want to slow the plane down before you get into ground effect, because once you're in ground effect, it's harder to slow your speed down, or else you're just going to float down the runway the whole time. So you try and find a middle ground to where you can bleed off the speed above the runway and then sink right into ground effect, minimal float, hit the ground, and make it smooth at the same time.
Right.
Beam your touchdown point,
Alright.
perfect on altitude, so power back,
Power
15.
back, 15.
Maintain nose on the horizon. And fuel selector down on the bottom is good.
Lights are on.
Good. Carb
heat out.
Mixture's full rich. And 10 degrees of flaps. And the only thing this flow method doesn't get is your seat belts, because that's up to you. The pilot in command, you have to make sure your passengers' seat belts are, on and fastened in the back.
Right.
Or you just tell them never take their seatbelt off and you'll be good. Unless they're pregnant, then I guess maybe they have a
reason.
Yeah, somewhat of a reason.
Delaware Coastal, Comanche 856 Yankee 45 to left.
Degrees.
Sure, we're going down coastal.
Yep.
Pretty good traffic in sight.
And Millville traffic, White Skyhawk 261 is left base 10 Millville traffic. And I'll try and do a full stop landing, taxi back.
Okay.
And as you progress and get better at this, we're going to start transitioning to keep a tighter traffic pattern so you're always within power off distance to land. So it's just almost like pulling the power to idle.
Right.
Coming into land like a glider.
Oops.
But for now, you know, this is fine because you got to figure out how to get to that point.
Get more flaps?
Yep, yeah, you could put your 20 degrees in. In this kind of way, you know, because we're far away from the airport, it's just a safety thing, you know, it's up to you. Is it safe to put more flaps in? Is it not safe to put more flaps in? Go ahead and get your 30 degrees in though. That way you figure out how to fly the airplane.
To the west, we're entering the 45 for the downwind 04 Delaware Coastal.
Yep, just get more right aileron in. Your horizon's looking perfect because your airspeed's at 65.
Okay.
And just adjust the throttle to maintain those lights out there. So you lost one.
Yep, I lost one.
There you go, just reduce it and add power back in so that way you don't sink below it. And Millville traffic, White Skyhawk 261 is short final 10, full stop, taxi back Millville. And I'll start applying some light pressures soon.
Okay.
We're going to go for the 1,000-foot markers. So my aiming point is actually 2 center line stripes before the 1,000-foot markers. My aiming point is that, my landing point is the 1,000-footer. So aiming point's always before the landing point. So within power off distance to land, pull power to idle. And just keep the nose down, and then let's slowly start to apply some back pressure here. And allow your feet to loosen up a little bit. And there you go. Just keep on applying back pressure. And until you get nice and low. And then just let the nose come down on its own. And then we can start braking, so that way we make this taxiway if we want.
Alright.
We'll just keep going straight and make a 180 if we have to. And I always just go full back pressure. And you can start taxiing over there. Full back pressure is just to take all the weight off the nose wheel.
Right, yeah.
Because that nose wheel isn't intended to take, you know, any weight greater than just the weight of the airplane. So aerodynamically, by pushing the yoke forward, it's putting more weight on that strut, causing the seals to blow out or anything.
Yeah, we're going left here.
Yep. Oh. Yeah, so you'll come to a complete stop once you cross this, and then
clean it up.
Yeah, and then clean up the airplane. Now we're done the landing, so now you can, you know, kind of loosen up on the yoke. You're cleared. You're done. You just have to clean up the plane, and then we'll make the.
Do we lean this now?
Yep, just an inch.
Lean it, flaps up.
Yep. And then just double check your checklist. I mean, yeah, exactly. There's not that many buttons on this shopping cart, so over time you'll realize what to do. But
before landing, after.
Millville traffic, White Skyhawk 261 is cleared. 10, taxi back Millville.
Extreme lean, transponder is still squawking altitude, landing light off. Alright.
Cool. If you're ready, we're going to transition to cross keys. That way we're just in the vicinity. If we want to, if we have time, we'll try and do another lap of the pattern. This is what the pattern's looking like so far.
Okay.
So, yeah, over time we'll start trying to get it like perfect 90-degree crisp turns. And just try and follow the yellow line.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. With practice over time, it's just, you know, it just builds proficiency with that and forcing yourself to be there. Reason being is once you start flying at night, you don't want to allow yourself to drift off because of you don't know what obstructions that you're playing. Like if you're in a low wing airplane, you don't know what you'll hit.
Right.
So it was a 200 heading to get here. Now 020 to get back home. So just slightly northeast.
And this was runway 10, right?
Yep, 100.
Whoops, dang it.
Nope. I was going to wait until you got farther. I was going to say, this is why earlier, try and limit yourself. It takes forcing yourself to cancel all heads down activities.
So yeah,
taxiing the airplane.
Do that.
Exactly. Always come to a complete stop. Sometimes I just let stuff happen though, because I want to see how far it'll go. You know, other examples is when you start letting the airplane fly you instead of you fly the airplane. That's why I like doing some of those maneuvers that we did earlier.
All right.
Just gets you to have an idea of how much control and what authority it takes to really control the airplane with rudder. And then pulling up to the runway, you'll maybe keep it cocked on about a 45-degree angle, like, towards that direction. So that way we can look for any incoming traffic. So yeah, you can keep it like this, approximately.
Double traffic, Cessna 126 5 miles southwest of Millville.
Okay, said he was 5 miles southwest.
Alright.
It's just so that way with the high wing airplane, you're able to look off out here for any base to final traffic.
Yeah, I got you. Alright, so we're going mixture rich. Trim is at takeoff. I never know where to put that. Is it from this view or from our view? Probably
always better to go lower, because if you have nose up trim for takeoff, it's better than having the nose down trim, because you don't want to like prop strike or anything, push forward pressure.
Alright, squawking, altitude, icing on is required, lights on.
And high to compass.
2-2.
Yep.
And 225
it looks like there.
Should be good. Alright. That's it. Going flaps up, takeoff.
Yep, double traffic, Cessna 126 3 miles to the southeast, Millville.
Alright, so if you want to call, we're going to be taking off runway 10. So you got your sign there. Millville traffic, White Scout 261 departing 10 to the north.
To the north, okay. Millville traffic, Skyhawk, November 52261, departing runway 10, departing to the north, Millville.
Then, if you ever remember to, it wouldn't be a bad idea to say, we'll be looking for the inbound traffic or something like that if we needed to. Another flight instructor on board though.
It's clear over here.
Alright, so let's say at nighttime, this is where it's difficult. So look for the threshold and see where the markings get thicker out there. Yeah, just go for that.
Double traffic, Cessna 126 2 miles southeast, RNAV 32, Millville. We're looking for the departing traffic.
Oh, shoot, okay.
Alright, we're good, right?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Alright. Oops.
Oil temp pressure in the green, 10. I'll switch you up right there, inside and out. And go ahead. Airspeed's alive, engine instruments are in the green. Start applying some back pressure, you're at 55.
26 miles there has the departing traffic. We're 1 mile to the southeast, Millville.
And we got you in sight as well. Be a left turn out to the north, Millville traffic.
Right, thank you. And Millville traffic, Cessna's on short final 3-2, Millville. Thanks for the communication, guys.
Absolutely. See if this shopping cart can outclimb you.
What's he in?
He's in another Cessna.
Alright, so what do we say? 20. We're going 020, right?
Yep, 020, so it'll be right about there. You're 800 feet, you can clear left.
Coastal.
Always good idea, pick up the wings, just bank right, clear left, and then pick a visual reference. Towards that.
It's 020, we're going to head that way. Oh, my feet are still on the damn brakes.
I was thinking that I couldn't tell on takeoff if you were slightly on the brakes or not. It was very subtle. I was trying not to look inside down to the ground. And we'll just go up to like 2,000 feet, I guess, on the way back.
Okay.
We'll see if we can take Route 55. It will get close to the TFR though.
Which one?
For Biden.
Is it back in Delaware now?
Yeah, he's in. What's it called? Again, these are the things I was trying to limit while doing on takeoff. But it's this big red circle.
Yeah. That's coming all the way over here. I guess.
Yeah, 28-mile ring. Typically it's 30. But because of a couple airports, like us, one of them, at Cross Keys, they limited the 30 nautical mile ring to 28, so that way we could still operate out of there just fine. Because before, it was a little rough. Like they still gave us a cutout before, however, it wasn't as good as it is now. It's that extra 2 miles. So pitch, power, trim. You could keep it at like 2200 now for cruise, because now we're just going to try and burn it to get back.
Delaware coastal. Area's traffic 0639er Delta Romeo is 5 miles northeast, entering a left downwind, runway 11, full stop, St. Mary's.
What we could do is just stay about, a couple miles right of 55, 55. And we'll just track that most of the way up.
And the 69211 is coming up on Leonard County. Robinson traffic, we're 3 Tucker Bay. Robinson traffic, we're 3 Tucker Bay. Left downwind 11 Robinson.
I was looking at the schedule. It looks like you have quite a day.
Today?
In these planes, yeah.
Yeah, Delaware coastal. Good for me. I need the hours.
Yeah.
Bravo Charlie's a beam
Alright, now that the thing's all leveled off, we'll go ahead and cruise it out. We got an aircraft 12 o'clock on this thing, 500 feet above us, about 2 miles. So that inner ring here is 2 miles, outer ring 6 miles, a radius. I don't have the guy in sight, but... And continue looking. Looks like we'll go behind him anyways. So it shouldn't be an issue. Oh, there you go.
Turning a left base.
And then we could follow the cruise checklist, verify everything's good. You got that.
Yep.
And it's not a bad deal to lean the mixture out. I'm fine with it if you're going straight.
That's right. We're only supposed to do that at 3,000, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In a really hot day, or once it gets really hot out, maybe you'll lean it below, but. What's really nice if you have a exhaust gas temperature gauge, some airplanes will have it right here. So that way you can really just monitor the exhaust gas temperature and you fly it at what the manufacturer wants you to operate the aircraft at.
Yep.
So that way you know it's perfect, you're not burning. In this case, you're in a flight school plane, you're not paying for gas, they'll just,
Robinson traffic, we're 3
probably cut that out of your video, but,
I don't put them public.
Yeah, right. Alright, I'll demonstrate a power off and a power on stall for you real quick.
Okay.
So I just want you to see it. We're going to maintain that 020 heading. First thing we're going to do is always clear the area. So we are required to clear the area for the check ride and for ACS standards as well. I mean for your own safety too. So it's always going to start with a 90-degree turn left, followed by a 90-degree turn back to the right. So I'll just get perpendicular to 55 here, and I'm going to turn back to the right. I'm actually going to switch radio frequencies as well to 122.8.
Traffic, 12 Yankee 6 miles to the northeast, and then on the 45, for right 1.
Now you can keep a light grip on the rudder, because I actually want you to follow me with the rudder, and if you want to keep your hands on the yoke, I don't mind.
Traffic caravan high right base.
So now that we did our clearing turns, we cleared the horizon, nobody's out here. We have our heading set. I'm just going to use a 030 so it's easier to follow. I'm going to first slow the plane down. So same thing before landing checklist. And this is a takeoff stall. So before landing checklist though, I'll explain why, because fuel select is on both, lights, carb heat, mixture, full rich. Flaps are going to stay up though because this is a takeoff. The reason why I'm pulling the power back is because I want to slow the plane down to 55 knots to simulate our departure.
Okay.
So, for the most part, you're going to always use rudder on this because if you use aileron, the wings are stalled, therefore aileron's not effective.
Right.
I mean, yes, will it work a little bit? Yes, but if you get into an actual spin, that aileron's going to increase lift on one wing, creating that spin to be worse. Because if you're spinning because one wing is stalled more than the other. And if you use aileron, now one wing stalled even more than the other.
Right.
Here's 55, so I'm going to apply full power, carb heat in, and just aggressively pitch the nose up. And I'm using rudder to control my heading here.
Clear 122.8.
And pretty much to keep the ball centered. You're going to feel one wing start dropping. Oh, the stall horn doesn't work, that's why. Okay. I'm like, nothing's happening, but I hear a buffet. Alright, so you feel the buffet, so you push the nose down, reduce angle of attack, level wings, max power. And I'm going to pitch for 60, because we just stalled the airplane over the runway. Or, taking off.
Right.
So now we have to climb back up and clear the obstacle. We just took off, so let's clear the obstacle. Okay, we look outside, obstacle's cleared. Now I'm just going to do a normal climb out and tell my passengers that that's normal, that we usually do that. I'll pull the power back and just level off. And that would be the procedures for power on stall. For the power off stall, same thing. Bug your heading, visual reference, 90-degree clearing turns, we're cleared right. Get into the before landing checklist again. So I'm going to slow the plane down. There's two ways of doing this. You could either do it in a descent, or you could do it while maintaining altitude, up to you.
Right.
I like doing it in a descent, because it just makes more sense. So I'll demonstrate that.
Okay.
Power's at 15, fuel select is on both, lights, carb heat, mixture, and 10 degrees below 110. I'm already below. I'm in the white arc below 85. So I'm just going to put the flaps all the way in. Now I can go ahead and pitch to maintain 65 knots. So you're pitching for airspeed just like our landing. Use nose up trim to hold it on its own. Power's already set.
RV, we're with you, right?
We'll go maybe 1500 back in. And the plane's just nice, smooth descent rate. Looks good. We're coming in to land. And then let's say there's a bird below us. So, and to exaggerate it, power's going to be at idle. There's a bird below us, so we want to climb and clear the bird. So this is what we do. You just keep bringing the nose up. And you'll feel the stall. Feel the stall. It drops. Push the nose down. Full throttle. Carb heat in, 20 degrees. Keep the nose here with the horizon in the midpoint of the midpoint of the dash, or the windshield. Now bring the nose up, because now we have sufficient airspeed. Pitch for 60. And just keep using rudder to keep that heading. There's 60 knots. Again, verify. You've cleared your obstacle, left and right. And now we can go ahead and push the nose down. Continue the climb out and smoothly retract the flaps up. And just trim it out and fly. I just wanted to show you those, that way you have it, you know what it looks like, and we'll practice it. I'll have you practice it in the near future, probably next flight. But,
I didn't really feel the wings dipping at all, but I'll have to get used to it.
I think it's because of the wind. Yeah, usually this plane actually drops the worst out of all three of them. I find that this one wants to let's say you're in a turning stall to the right.
Right.
If you're going to the right aileron's up, right? Left aileron's down. So left aileron is creating more lift. So if you're stalling to the right, you're going right. It's actually going to spin and stall and spin to the left.
Right.
Because the left wing was creating more lift than this right one. Well, the TFR is literally pretty close here.
Okay.
I just wanted to show you Route 55. We took it pretty much the whole way. It's just where this power line is, do you see it crossing?
Yeah, I see it, yep.
That's 55.
Okay.
You can even see it down there.
Yep.
I always have students take it to the field, and we have to go below 2,000 for out here for the Bravo shelf. Get to this field, be at 2,000 feet in the vicinity of the field or below, so like 1,500 feet. Take it to the lake, and then this lake is going to point to Cross Keys Airport.
Okay.
I might as well show you another maneuver. Do you know what a forward slip is?
Yeah, I've studied it, but I forget which slip versus whatever it is.
Where are the winds aloft right now? Let's see. I'm going to just bring the nose up, slow the plane down. 090 on the ground, 204 aloft. So winds are on our left. I'm going to go right rudder to the floor, left aileron drops. And this is to rapidly dissipate altitude. Because, let's say, either you don't have electrical, so your flaps aren't usable. And the other option is you just need to rapidly lose altitude in flight, but you don't want to put your flaps in.
Right.
So this is how you do it. Aileron's just for wind drift. Rudder is just to keep the nose away from the a wind. So now the whole side of the airplane is one big drag device.
That was the other one, the skid. Slip
and skid. So it's called a forward slip. It's actually different versus slip and skid.
Right.
And I'm going to level off here, give you the controls, 1500. There is going to be traffic out here I'll be looking for. Probably the Caravan departing. I got them in sight.
Good.
So that field takes you, let me look at this.
We're going carb heat in.
Yeah, you can go carb heat in. So that points us to the airport, which is over here, but usually this is good for entering a left downwind for 27. However, now we're going to enter a right downwind for 9.
Okay.
So actually go ahead and cut to the right here quite a bit. We'll go towards Williamstown High School, or just take this road. And when you're ready, you could descend down to 1,000 feet.
Southeast, flying W. Harper traffic, use caution. Harper, you got jumpers in the air there. 5 canopy to Harper.
So Cross Keys, I don't know if you can see the golf course right there. I forget what the heck the name of it is. That's like right off our left wing, about 2 miles away.
I got it, yep.
So that's going to be your approach end of 9, pretty much. But we have to come out this direction and then swing it back in.
Gotcha.
To enter the downwind. And you got 100 feet
Cross
to go.
Keys traffic, use caution. 2 minutes, jumpers overhead, 5,500 below. Cross Keys.
Hey, Cross Keys traffic, White Sky 261, about 3 miles south of field, 1,000 feet inbound, right downwind 9 or Cross Keys.
Line to be light port, left crosswind, head today.
Traffic Caravan, right base, 19 Harper.
There you go, pitch, power, trim, looks good. And then just pick a visual reference out here and we'll make a 180 around it.
Alright, high school it is. I can never feel my foot on the left rudder.
And Cross Keys traffic, White Sky 261, 2 mile 45 to midfield, right downwind 9 or Cross Keys. And you can point right towards the middle of the field. Try and stay a little bit to the right. That way we give ourselves more time on the downwind.
Just to the south of cross midfield and area left downwind 8.
I don't even have it in sight.
About 1 mile. We're pretty close to it.
Oh, we're right over it. Okay, I got you. So we're going to be making a left?
Yep.
I got you. Okay.
And you go ahead and start that left turn.
Whoops, too much rudder.
Traffic approach, Cross Keys, use caution, jumpers overhead, 5,500 below.
And I'll be looking out for skydivers as well. And we're looking good, so we're parallel our field. And we're landing 9. So you can turn to the left a little bit until that is on your tail.
To the right? Right, which way?
Yeah, I don't know if that's perfect then, because that means we're turning towards the airport, so that's not right then. Alright, well, we'll beam a touchdown point here. You go ahead and pull that power back. Be aggressive with this, because we have the TFR.
Okay.
And fuel selector down here is on both. Lights, carb heat, mixture, and 10 degrees below 110.
Below 110, 10 degrees.
And go ahead and turn right. So I'm going to have you do it quick because
yep, it's fine.
Because of that. I usually try and keep it on golf course property during TFR. And judging high or low, go ahead and pull that power to idle. So it may be a little high here. And flaps are actually already at 20 degrees, so we're good. And cross keys traffic, White Skyhawk 261 is right base 9er cross keys. And then start transitioning to 65 knots as you turn final. And if you need to get the turn out of the way, you can push the nose down and bank at the same time and add throttle if you needed to.
Okay.
And cross keys traffic, White Skyhawk 261 is final 9er cross keys. And add a little bit of power here for descending rapidly. And you go 30 degrees of flaps. There you go. Landing's assured, power to idle. And we'll just float her in and just start slowly bringing the nose up. I'm just going to help guide you here.
Okay. Oh, you're...
Alright, I'll take controls real quick. Yeah. That was weird. Those are some weird gusts.
Yeah.
That was not you.
That was
fun. That's normal for this airport. And we'll just go full right. That was weird. And it's full back pressure and right aileron. You could follow along too.
Okay.
No, I'm just going to go full length rollout all the way down just because it'll take us to the...
back where we're going.
Yeah, where we're going. And anyways, too, if we were to make the turn out here and then someone had to taxi to 9, now we're blocking the taxiway.
Yep.
I'll let you taxi it.
Okay.
So you have controls back. That was
controls.
weird. Maybe just a little slow and then ended up getting a gust of wind, which is normal for this place.
So you just added some power and leveled it out?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I first pushed the nose down, added power in, regained control of the airplane, forced the airplane right back over the runway, and then you know, if I would say if it was you do a go around.
Right.
In that case, you know, it's still fixable. It is. So yeah, regain control of the airplane, get it over the runway. Then once you do that, just assess another landing. I guess at that point, or try and get yourself set back up.
Exit here.
Yep.
Cross keys, traffic east, caution jumpers overhead, 5,500 below, cross keys.
And I don't even know what airplane I'm in next. I think I'm in that one, but...
I know it's not this one. I was looking at all the planes.
Hey, do you guys need fuel? I'm taking the airplane out next. You can leave it by the pump if it does.
Roger that. Yeah, here, I'll take controls real quick.
Your controls.
My controls. Alright, and I'm just going to help shut it down real quick. All you got to do is shut avionics off. This